Hello everyone and welcome to another Daily Muppet. Today's video, unfortunately, we won't have a ton to talk about moving forward as there are no games this weekend with the postponement of the Premier League due to the passing of the Queen Elizabeth of England. And so really just want to talk about the match yesterday, the Europa game, focus on a little bit of what went wrong, and primarily talk about the big question, which is the team still capable of winning with Cristiano Ronaldo at striker? And debate that, go through some of the key moments, look at the shape of the team, and see exactly where, as far as I can tell, things kind of went wrong. Today's video is once again sponsored by OneFootball. We've teamed up with OneFootball to help bring you the best in football news. If you're looking to keep up with all the scores, matches, highlights, things like that, download the OneFootball app today for free for your iPhone or Android. Their easy-to-use app is clean and attractive. Get the latest news curated for you, match scores live, streaming without subscription, statistics, and so much more, all built and personalized for your interests. Click the link in the description below today to download OneFootball and get all your football news and updates, aside from the Muppeteers, of course, all in one place. So, first I want to talk about, let me see if I can find this, a little bit of what went wrong in the match, where we can see that things didn't work. The top chart is a top chart of the attacks or shots from United, where shots came in from, where things happened. You can easily see right off of the bat one of the bigger issues here when you look at the shots and the shape. Now the shape's a little skewed by Lindelof at the bottom there, number 2, because he came in as right back in the second half essentially. So the shape of the defense was actually fine, and similar to how we talked about in that video before the match, Lindelof would have been off to the left there, and it would have been that kind of back four diamond, which really held Sociedad back from creating any sort of threat. And when I look back at the game, I would say once again that is what worked. I wouldn't say it was the best game from all of these players, but it worked. Sociedad really produced nothing, even when the ball was being given over by the forwards and the midfielders far too often. There was really nothing on offer for them. So that defensive solidity is something I think we can take away from this game as a positive again. Something that Ten Hag will look at and say, yeah, did we give Sociedad really any chances? No. Even with a poor showing by some of the players, and even with a lot of rotation in the back line. So that shape of that backfield, that back four kind of at diamond, seems to be right. It was a bit further up the pitch than in the average we saw earlier. Just going back to this, you can see, I think I switched these up. No, yeah, here you go. You can see how deep this was beforehand with McTominay, halfway in the middle. Let's see, was it really much different? Yeah, you can see Casemiro up almost by the halfway line, Dallo all the way up, Maguire higher. So it was able to push up more, and this was more control from United in this game against Sociedad. They controlled it higher up the pitch. More of the action was taking in the middle third rather than the back third. The ball definitely got stuck there a bit, but that defensive shape was there. Now, where did it not work was, you can see over on the bottom as well, you can see Antony completely isolated on the wing, very, very deep. You'd like to see this midfield setup didn't really work, where it was kind of a 4-2-3-1, but Fred was very high up, swapped around with Eriksen at halftime, or with Bruno at halftime, and it didn't really work there at all. You can see everything got stuck on the left side, and I remember seeing that a few times through the match, that it would go over to the left, and we've seen this in years past, and just get stuck over there. Fred was drifting off to the left a lot as a 10. The ball was getting stuck with Elanga as a over there. Eriksen was providing a lot of the build-up and creativity, so the ball just kept moving to that left side, and Ronaldo would move over there as well. So you can see that shape was kind of poor and left Antony isolated, and when you look at the top, everything was on the left and the middle, and very, very little on the right, which Sociedad had the same problem, but is not something that we should be dealing with, especially playing a 100 million player on that right side. You'd like to see more going over there, and I think that was part of the problem, was being one-sided in the attack, one-sided in everything that happened. That being said, when I go back to how the game went overall, again, the defensive shape was there, provided Sociedad with really nothing, and the big question mark comes down to Ronaldo. The team looks poor when Ronaldo plays, and it comes down to shape, it comes down to build-up, it comes down to lacking that threat in behind, and I'll run through some examples of some grainy quality pictures because I think this is all I'm able to post on a YouTube video that I want to share here. But really, when I think about it, it was a bad performance, but the more I looked at the game, watched highlights, watched the playback, United probably should have scored 2 or 3 goals at minimum, and obviously should not have allowed a goal, and you would have taken a scrappy 2-0 win against a Spanish team in the Europa League on a night of heavy rotation with players who are not really yet fit or in form. Players like Ronaldo, Fred, Elanga, Casemiro, Lindelof, Maguire, who have not been playing recently, and and Anthony, who's new to the team, you might take a 2-0 kind of scrappy win without a huge amount of, and the game looks different if you score that early goal. So this is what I wanted to show. There was a few moments. In the first moment, there was a missed pass. This is Ronaldo. You can see he's through, should be ahead, and the end result was, unfortunately, getting caught by 2 players and losing the ball. A cross comes in for Ronaldo. He beats his man in the air and misses, and the ball goes off. And that was a second moment that could have been a severe chance. You can see Ronaldo head and hands was a common theme through the evening there. A cross comes in here from the right side from from Eriksen, Ronaldo cannot quite jump and get to it, and it goes harmlessly wide. Here, Ronaldo is through the back line. Eriksen whizzes a pass in quite fast. Ronaldo miscontrols it. It pops up in the air, and he loses the possession, and more frustration from the face of Ronaldo. I would say at this point we have 3 good opportunities. Here's where Ronaldo actually scores. Dalot puts a good cross in. Ronaldo's offside, gets his head onto it and scores, but unfortunately is offside in that position. So there was chance number 4. Here, the ball comes in from Bruno to Ronaldo. He's through on net. He should be shooting, and instead somehow miscontrols it, gets tackled by 2 defenders once again. And so when I look at the game overall and think about it, there's 2 problems that I see. Number 1, whenever Ronaldo plays, every attack goes to him. You can see in all of those instances, there's actually a couple more. In the second half, there was probably 3 more instances where you could see a goal. One, Fred put a cross in that Sancho whiffed on that Ronaldo let go. There was the corner that went to Casemiro as a free header that he miscontrolled a bit. And there was another low cross a few minutes later by Fred that Ronaldo came and ran up on and fired it wide of the goal. So I see 4 real opportunities and 2 other good chances, and that's a lot of chances to score. And that's really the difference. If you think about the Arsenal game, how many chances do we make? 4. How many do we score? 3. Liverpool, and you don't necessarily score all your chances, but you have to be better about scoring them in these kind of games. And you look at the types of opportunities that were created, crosses in against teams that are settled in deep, but actually getting in behind against a low block, getting through the lines, the opportunities were there. But the 2 problems that I see are this, and this is my perspective on it, and why I feel that United will struggle so long as they do not have a striker until Anthony Martial comes back. Number 1, when Ronaldo plays, everything has to go to Ronaldo. Every attack tends to funnel to Ronaldo. Nobody else seems to get chances. Nothing else seems to come in. You're not getting that fluidity in attacking. For whatever reason, it goes to Ronaldo, and it finishes and ends with Ronaldo. Secondly, he's not in a position where he's good enough to score those types of opportunities anymore. And so, unfortunately, you have the situation where it's wasteful, and you're not seeing the chances being scored that should. I don't think Ronaldo has the pace. That much is clear. His pace is gone. He was in behind 2 or 3 occasions, and not having a striker who can get through on net and get an actual opportunity when they're behind the defense with the ball is a problem. It's going to be something that United struggle with in those opportunities and in those cases. You can't get by without it. And so, that's kind of the way I see it for now. When you look at the setup of what was played during the weeks that was being won, obviously, yes, there's the midfield. Yes, there's the changes, all of that. But Sancho, Rashford, Elanga, or Antony, you can see the fluidity, the movement forward. The ball goes side to side. The runs are there. Rashford getting goals from running in behind. Everything comes down to Ronaldo because he lacks that pace. And so pretty much all you're going to get in terms of goals is crosses and things like that in. And as an aerial threat, he's still there. But that's all. And it limits your opportunities. And that can be useful at times. But then you have to be finishing those chances. And I think that's the biggest problem. And it's hard, it's early in the season. Maybe Ronaldo will pick up pace as he gets fit and all of that. But as of now, the problem and the struggle is this setup won't work as well against low blocks. But you need better than what Ronaldo is bringing to the table against low blocks. And that's my concern as of now, and where I see that United will struggle. So maybe with the games off, it'll give more opportunities for Anthony Martial to get healthy and get back into the team. I think that's going to be desperately needed. I think it's clear that the best front three and the best 11 does not include Ronaldo at this point. And a striker should be on the menu. If Martial cannot be fit even by January, a striker should be on the menu. It's something they're just going to have to look at. But every ounce of budget next summer needs to be going into that striker position because, again, you're going to get those bad games. You're going to get poor games. You're going to get that rotation is going to be necessary, especially as the season's going to be even more congested now with the games being called off. And you have to be able to win those scrappy games when you make a few chances. And, you have to be able to finish these. You have to be able to finish these opportunities that come through. You have to score these. If you cannot score these opportunities when they come, you're going to struggle. And United are going to struggle if they cannot get goals in ugly games like this when they're not at their best and when they're heavily rotating. So that's where it's at. That's what I see the biggest problem is and the biggest thing that Ten Hag will have to solve. That's my biggest concern. Where do the goals come from in the front three? Antony really has to become a goal threat because other than that, you really just have Rashford right now who is providing goal threat, and that's just not enough. And teams can plan for it. So biggest thing is hoping that Anthony Martial will return to training soon, and I think that would make the biggest difference for United at this point in time. I think the other things you'll sort out, but again, it's a game you should be winning. Even with how poorly some of the players played, even with all the rotation, it's a game you should be winning with the quality you have if you can take those chances. So that's where I'm at. Leave me your thoughts below in the comments. Is it the end of Ronaldo? Will he improve as the season goes on? Or, at this stage, is it hard to see how he can play as anything but an impact sub for United, where he's clearly got more energy, more intensity, and can come on against tired legs? Give me your thoughts in the comments below. Speak to you later.